Good morning. We are just on our way to get a coffee and then we're going to go to yoga and then we're going to come back, get ready for the podcast studio adventure that we've got planned today. Okay, we are on our way to the podcast studio now. So it's called LightHouse Studios and it's actually owned by a guy called Monty. The reason why it's actually quite sentimental that I'm going to this studio is because when I first started on track, I remember like scurrying around the internet looking for any kind of inspiration or someone who had done it before me, and there was literally no one in Australia who had done it at that time. And I remember stumbling across this studio in Bali and I was like, that looks like exactly what I want to create in Australia. And so I did draw, like, I don't know how much inspiration I drew from the actual studio because I didn't know. Hello. I didn't know what they were actually doing, how they were running, or much about the equipment, but I just saw it and I was like, okay, the vision's there. That's really exciting. I know I can do this here. And so, yeah, it's kind of like a full circle moment, you know, now coming here, being in Bali and actually going to record with the woman herself. Skizzle, give us a sizzle. Hello. We are going to record an episode together and it's going to be about dissolving creative blocks. So maybe that'll be live by the time this vlog's live, likely. So go listen to that. But yeah, I'll take you on the journey so you can see what it's like, and if you ever are in Bali, you can record there. But if you're in Australia, it's strict rules that you have to come at on track, obviously.
What happened when we walked into LightHouse Studios is that Monty Hook, the guy I mentioned at the start of the video who owns LightHouse Studios, was actually there to greet me at the door. I think he might have seen me put a story up. And anyway, he was like, introduced himself and he basically showed us to the studio recording room that we had booked in. Then he struck up a conversation and basically he was like, after your session, if you want me to take you for a tour around, I'm happy to do that. So that's what we ended up doing. He showed me upstairs to a recording studio that's primarily for live streaming and course content creation. And it was so cool to see this space. I've got to say, I was really glad that a lot of the equipment that I saw at LightHouse Studios matched the same that I have in On Track. It made me feel like I'd made the right decision in what I had invested in. I mean, we don't have a green screen, but in terms of the cameras, lighting, and all of those things, it was the same equipment. So that made me feel really good. I really liked having a chat to Monty as well. He was able to tell me a little bit about his story and vice versa, and it was a really kind of cool exchange. So I really enjoyed that. After we finished up at the studios, we decided to go and meet our friend Riley for a little bit of a work date and some food, but that quickly turned into the laptops being closed and us just deciding let's scoot back to our villa and kind of relax, because honestly I was quite exhausted after the whole morning. What I really liked about LightHouse Studios is that the booking process was so easy. It was so user-friendly and I really enjoyed that. The customer service was absolutely unreal. I liked how high quality all of the equipment was. So it meant that the content that we recorded was really high quality, which is obviously a standard of mine that I hold near and dear. I thought the only thing that I liked better about On Track Studio, not that it's a competition, but I really prefer the set at my studio, and that's probably because I designed it and it's way more aligned to my aesthetic. I wasn't so much a fan of the chairs and the aesthetic there in the actual recording studio, but in saying that, I know how hard it is to please everyone in that regard. You need to keep it so simple, but you want to have a kind of vibe to it. So all in all, I had such a good time recording abroad in Bali. I would definitely recommend it to anyone traveling in that area. But let me know in the comments if you want me to record a studio tour of On Track Studio as well, because I'd be happy to do that if you are interested. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.